Morning everyone, and welcome to today's trading analysis of Bitcoin and XRP. And with the big pump in the US dollar this week, let's see how that affected our cryptos. Looking at the Bitcoin chart to start with, you can see that we are still forming higher lows on a weekly scale. We had a bit of a scare earlier in the week where you could see that Bitcoin was pushing down this long-term trend line, but it pushed right back up, and it is still trading below the 21 moving average. So the 21 moving average is now moving down to $43,000, but with this doji looking candle, this could hopefully be the end and possibly have a move upwards finally. On the daily scale, you can see there was a big dump in the middle of the week. I'm not sure what caused that dump, but you can still see that that dump did form a divergence and the price did push back up and above this trend line. So it is now sitting above this trend line, and hopefully this would be enough, sort of like a fake out, and then this would be enough then for the price to move up to $43,000. And the funding rate is starting to become positive again. That is unfortunate. It was great that it was negative last week. It hasn't really played out. Maybe with a little bit more fear in the market, this could turn negative again, and maybe we can have a sustained funding rate, a negative funding rate, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 weeks of negative funding rate. That should really build up enough shorts for a big short squeeze coming up like that. That is really what I'm banking on. I'm hoping that one of those short squeezes would come at some point. This is definitely the period for this. You can also, if we go over to the fear and greed, you can see this is in an extreme fear period, and this is usually the time when those type of moves happen. Moving over to XRP, on the weekly scale, this is not looking good. You can see that it has been rejected off the 21 moving average, and this is really not pulling back. Unlike Bitcoin, it is actually still falling. So hopefully we can have a bit of a relief rally today and keep above this trend line. We don't want to be closing below this trend line. On the daily scale, it's also not looking great. A little bit of a divergence, but at this moment I think that divergence is going to be broken the way this chart is looking. There was your daily 9, but it got rejected immediately, and it's already got your sell signal on the TD sequential. So XRP, unfortunately, on the daily scale is not looking good at the moment. On the 4-hour is maybe the best. It looks like there could be some sort of a falling wedge, maybe a tiny little falling wedge forming, something like that. You can see there's a little bit of green action there. That is the volume coming through when people are buying. So this looks like there is some buyers stepping in every time the price is pumping down. You can see the divergence. So hopefully this is enough to cause XRP to create that same rally and close above that trend line. The futures have come back down to this bottom of this channel. You can see that's clearly being rejected at the top and of the channel, and then finding support at the bottom of the channel. If it can close today like this with a big reversal hammer candle like that, that would be fantastic. This is the weekly scale. It is still trading below the 21 moving average, but hopefully this can then create a relief rally to close above this 21 moving average and move to the top of the channel and ultimately break this channel. The catalyst of it all, of course, is the US dollar. Look, this US dollar is just absolutely pumping. Now it's at 103. The good news or the bad news, depending on where you sit on the scale. If you have US dollars, this is great. If you don't, this is what's causing the pressure on all cryptos, on the stock market and everything. You can see it's now clearly on a weekly 9. The previous weekly 9 didn't really work out. There was a little bit of a rejection. It had a bit of a pullback, maybe pulled back from, maybe pulled back about 1 or 2% in the coming weeks. So if we had to have something similar play out to the last weekly, 1 or 2%, yeah, that could probably bring us back into this channel. The best case scenario would be that it pushes back into this channel and then starts trading in here for a while before it then breaks out. On the weekly scale, it is now finally oversold. The US dollar doesn't get oversold that much. The last time it has had that, it had quite a significant pullback. And even in previous rallies, when it hits these areas, there is quite a bit of a pullback. So it is definitely in an oversold condition. And a pullback in the US dollar certainly would help cryptos move upwards at this stage. On the bot trading front, I have not listened to myself. I'm actually quite irritated looking at this chart now. Trading below this 50-day moving average, I did not adjust my settings, and I still was buying on the 30-minute charts. I'm buying at 30, selling at 70, and it's now clear that buying at 20 would have been the trade, and selling at 70. Adjusting your parameters a little bit more bearish to be buying at 20 and selling at 70. I think it's all onto the US dollars. The reality is, if the US dollar is pumping like this, the measuring stick, the yardstick of all the stock markets, or crypto and everything, remember everything gets measured in US dollars. When the US dollar gets strong, it puts pressure on all cryptos, on the stock market. So until the US dollar starts weakening a little bit, or at least just consolidating or going sideways, we're going to struggle for cryptos to move upwards. But there is a lot of sell signals on the US dollar right now. So for the US dollar to correct downwards and the stock market and everything to move back upwards. I wasn't expecting this US dollar to move as high as it has. But let's see if this is finally the top. If it's not, you can expect more downside in crypto. If you did enjoy this content, please like and subscribe, and let's see you on the next one.